All right, ladies and gentlemen. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about a breaking news story about the Albanese government that has apparently completed its $6.5 million age assurance trial for the upcoming under 16 social media ban that is happening and releasing a 10-part 1,100-page report on the entire situation. Apparently, the trial had tested for the following: facial scans, ID checks, and behavior tracking for verification. However, Communications Minister Anika Wells and supposed e-safety Commissioner Julie Inman Grant will outline the reasonable steps that platforms must take in the coming weeks. Now, here's the problem with all of this. We're going to deep dive into this a little bit, but what I want to start off this video by saying is that anytime, and I say this all the time, anytime they try to say reasonable, right? Oh, we're just trying to be reasonable. Or one of the things they really love to say is common sense. They like to say, oh, these are common sense laws. These are common sense requirements. These are common sense whatever. They like to use these terms because they want to lower your guard. When you use these terms, it inherently lowers the guard of people, whether they know it or not, right? Some people it's not going to work on, but it's going to work on a lot of people, especially if they are disconnected from the conversation that's happening online quite often. They're going to be pretty disarmed when a politician says, yeah, these are just reasonable requests. These are just common sense laws that anybody would agree with, right? You don't want to be that person who disagrees with this, right? You don't want to be that guy. That's why they use these terms. But in any case, they apparently have reasonable steps that platforms must take in the coming weeks to get ready for their social media ban for under 16. So it seems like anybody under 16 years of age is going to be banned from utilizing social media completely. Now, in this particular report, there has been a trial of facial scans, ID checks, and behavior tracking for verification. Why this is important to talk about? Well, it's because this woman and this particular, group, this woman is actually on the same board as Melissa Tankard Reese. Yes, that Melissa Tankard Reese, the one who is part of Collective Shout. Madam Savvy says, Melissa Tankard Reese sat on the shareholder board of this trial and contributed to the trial. So when they're talking about age verification, facial scanning, ID checks, behavior tracking, and all of that for supposed verification that we all know is going to come to adults at some point in time, this was contributed to and ran alongside of Collective Shout as well. Collective Shout gets to have direct government influence in Australia because, again, this is Australian news that's happening right now. That woman, Julie, is connected to many e-safety boards and FOSI, which means direct ties to Roblox and loads of other major companies. She was caught emailing Garm and supportive of efforts to censor Donald Trump. Now, last I checked, Donald Trump is not under the age of 16. Last I checked. Why they are trying to censor Donald Trump and other adults that I'm sure they find to be problematic, I really don't know. I'm going to let you guys think about that one, right? We're going to play a little stupid here. But yes, like I keep saying to you guys, this is going to come for adults. It's only a matter of time. And it's kind of honestly already here at this point. It's been here for a while. We just have been pretty quiet about it. But overall, it's been here and it's only going to continue to get worse. They are going to use the Trojan horse of, yeah, this is just for the kids. But all this trial stuff that they're testing, facial scans, ID checks, behavior tracking, they're going to put that to adults. It's only a matter of time. But again, she was caught emailing Garm in support of efforts to censor Donald Trump. She lamented layoffs at Meta, but was only concerned about trust and safety. I wonder why. The circle of life. Now, of course, people are commenting like, you got Penguin Operator, the true villains in this world are Karens. That's what I realized this year. I really do think Karens are evil. They use their virtue signaling to distract from what they are actually doing, making money through unethical means, says Emerald Apple. Now, these guys are correct because the truth is these companies that are supposedly nonprofit, they make money. Oh, yes, they do. They make money. Collective Shout has made over $500,000 in a singular year for women that supposedly don't rely on the money that Collective Shout brings in, and yet somehow raised over $500,000. Here's some of the, I guess the cliff notes of the technology trial that they did in the final report. It says published September 1st, 2025. The age assurance technology trial was conducted by independent provider, the Age Check Certification Scheme. The report includes assessment of age verification, age estimation, age inference, and successive validation, parental control, and parental consent solutions. It also examines how these technologies operate within the broader technology stack and how age assurance is integrated across different layers of the digital ecosystem. So this thing is pretty damn involved, and I just find all of this to be absolutely hilarious and ironic considering what's happening here in the US. I'm going to pivot from this story really quick, and I'm just going to bring up the story that I covered yesterday, but a little bit more, because Chippy Reviews has been talking about this for a little bit now, and he says, breaking censorship news. SB20 in Texas goes into effect tomorrow. This is the bill that could potentially ban most anime, manga, games thanks to the vagueness of its law. The reason why I'm bringing up SB20 in this video is because groups like Collective Shout and groups like this person, they absolutely advocate for this stuff. They are trying to enact laws all across the globe that are extremely vague in nature, that allows the politicians to say what you would consider to be obscene or not. They can say what you can and cannot view, what you can and cannot buy. They're literally making these laws to be so vague that they can just make up whatever shit they want. If they deem something to be problematic enough, you'll never be able to view it. You'll never be able to buy it. And if you do buy it, well, that's a criminal offense and they could come after you for it. This is what they're trying to do. And SB20 is no different. SB20 is a law that has such unbelievable vague language that when it comes to digital cartoons, if something is deemed to be childlike, which keep in mind, they say all anime is childlike. I'm talking about the anime that you normies love, right? The anime out there, Jujutsu Kaisen lovers, One Piece lovers, right? All this stuff, they're going to consider it to be childlike. And then before you know it, well, it's gone. And then what? Everybody's going to be like, why are you banning my anime? It's because nobody did anything. It's because nobody said anything aside from a couple of people talking about it, right? This is why we need to make sure people realize that if you think this is going to stop at supposed Gooner material, if you think this is going to stop at supposed problematic content, oh, it won't. All content will be problematic at a certain point in time to these people. You really think this woman that made this law or participated in the making of this law, you really think she has a fucking clue as to what anime is actually like? Do you think she understands anime culture? Do you think she understands gaming culture? You think she understands social media? No, she doesn't understand anything. All she understands is she has an agenda, she wants to see it through, and she's going to do everything she can to make sure that it happens, right? So if you look at this here, this post I found to be very interesting. Aussie fella says, question mark? Busted, e-safety Karen must resign. According to Sky's New Australia, leaked emails reveal e-safety Commissioner Julie Inman Grant was leaked to a censorship plot to sideline President Donald Trump while working in the Albanese government. If you look at some of these emails here, it says from Julie Inman Grant to Rob Rakowitz, its subject matter Twitter. It says, hi, Rob. I saw the Garm post on LinkedIn and was really pleased to see this proactive approach. I'll be very interested in seeing your 6 points. I believe Garm has significant collective power in helping to hold the platforms to account, and I appreciate your informing the importance of both brand and platform safety. There's even some more pictures here that we're going to zoom in to try to help, understand this a little bit. Look on the right. They must be soul destroying. Oh, that must be soul destroying, Rob. I worked in the 102nd Congress at the time when members worked across parties on issues of mutual concerns. America's not the country of promise I grew up in and left 22 years ago. It makes me sad to see the societal polarization and degeneration of so many fronts, and frankly, the violence that permeates discourse in the name of free speech, not to mention the more obvious Second Amendment. Move to Australia. Yes, according to this person, Julie, she is messaging this Rob person and saying, leave America and go to Australia where we have more laws that limit free speech and we don't have to worry about things like the Second Amendment. This is the kind of psychopath that we are talking about. They want to ban guns. They want to take away your ability to defend yourself. They want to take away your ability to view content that is legal for all intents and purposes. They want to control every facet of your life. Looking at the bottom right email over here, she seems to be emailing this Rob person quite often. It says, Rob, it's getting late, so I will take a look tomorrow and we'll keep confidential. We'll suggest a few times when we might connect, but open to discussing vectors for mutual support. Just saw that the Meta layoffs hit. Hope it doesn't disproportionately hit trust and safety as well. I suspect this was a bit more about tackle, overall bloat, and underperformance, but we will watch. This woman's insane, man. So listen, at the end of the day, people are calling this stuff out, and rightfully so. This woman clearly does not have actual safety in mind. She doesn't care about actual safety in mind. This is all about control. This is all about power. This is all about pushing an agenda, and this is what they're trying to do all across the planet. Collective Shout is no different, and laws like SB20 are no different as well. And also keep in mind, guys, as the time you're watching this video, SB20 will officially be in effect in Texas. So if you are in Texas and you have anime and you have manga in your collection, good luck. That's really all I gotta say. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider hitting that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.